Welcome, folks. I am currently in Sweden right now. I woke up at 5 to start this, what I like to call the North Expedition. I have first and foremost, the time is right now 6:30. This watch is not correct, but I have dreamt of doing this trip for years now, and doing it in December is probably not the, what can I say, it's wrong of me to say the smartest choice, but if the weather is with me, it's probably the most beautiful choice. But I have been dreaming of riding in the southern Norway for years, and then I was like, you know what, if I have to count the pros and cons all the time, then I would never go anywhere. So that means that now I'm in Sweden, and I have planned for now that my first stop is going to be at a spot called Ouardale Camping. It's I just have to watch the GPS here for a second. It is, as you can see on Google Maps here, it is 8 hours away, so 700 kilometers from here. As you can see, I'm not on my Ducati Street Fighter V2 for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, when you live here in the north, insurance is not something that you have all the time, because we have some pretty cold and harsh winter months. So my Ducati doesn't have insurance that does that I'm able to ride in December, January and February. But when that also said, the Street Fighter is probably not the best choice where I'm going up in the mountains. But also, just to do a little bit of a different kind of content, I'm here on the Aprilia Touareg 660, which is provided by my good friend Christopher at FM Motorsport. So thank you for that. Of course, an adventure trip requires an adventure bike, especially in these conditions that I'm going to ride in. The best feature for me now is nothing performance wise, but it is these wind guards here keeping my hands, they're not keeping my hands warm, but they are not making my hands any colder, and that is a huge plus. So we just have a little bit of a motorway kilometers that we have to kill, so I guess that we can just see each other again when the light is more with us. See ya! So finally I had some lunch here at this Esso's gas station, and the bike is doing phenomenal. My clothing is doing great. I was so worried about freezing on this trip, and it has been no issue, but I am also wearing a lot of clothes. As you can see, I have my regular motorcycle gear underneath this one suit, fly suit, pilot suit. In Denmark we call it en flyverdragt. So this, and then also my rain suit, because it also going to help a little bit with the wind. But we are going to ride across some small islands now, and I am 1 hour and 50 minutes from the first stop on this trip. But just look at the view over here. That way. So that is the status on how things is going, but let's keep rolling. We don't have that many hours of light here in North Scandinavia this time of year, so I better get moving. So what is the meaning of this trip? Well, first of all, as I've said many times by now, is that I have dreamt of going on this trip for years. probably in the summertime, but when thinking about it, being able to ride in the southern Norway in the wintertime, where the landscapes are the most beautiful just before the weather is going full on winter, is just a dream come true. Secondly, I just wanted to create a new type of content with much more storytelling and then combined with this travel feeling. So please let me know in the comments if you want to see more travel related trips on this channel, and while you're here, please consider subscribing now that we are at it. And the last thing I really wanted to achieve by going on this trip was actually to challenge myself. Challenge myself by traveling alone on a motorcycle, being alone in tough weather, but also just to be with myself and my own thoughts in a beautiful scenery. I really have this nature hunger where I just want to be in nature and explore all sides of it. And as you can see here, the nature in the southern Norway does not disappoint. It is truly one of the most beautiful places on earth. And good morning, guys. I have slept 10 hours this night. I went to bed at 8 and then I woke up at 6. I was so freaking tired yesterday. But now I'm all fresh, and as you can see, it's still dark outside. The sun is actually not coming up until 9. But there is 3 hours to the first stop on today's route, so I thought, why aren't we just get going? I was thinking about only ride when the sun is up, but so I could see the beautiful landscapes, but we are going to see so much beautiful things today, so let's just get going. So about the clothes that I'm wearing, it's only 1 degree Celsius outside. Right now it's much more cold, but in the daytime it's 1 degree Celsius. But what do I actually wear? First and foremost, I have my base layer on, and then I actually put on my regular riding suits with my Rerouting jeans Engine Hawk jacket. But then I also have my jumpsuit on and the rain suit, and these are golden. Heated soles for my Danish boots. Game changer. So let's gear up and let's get going. So we are leaving the cabin now, out onto the open road. It's snowing a little bit, not much that I am particularly worried about, but what I am worried about actually is that we are going uphill on a road that hasn't been cleaned. Yeah, so that is exactly what we are going to do now, and it's going to be exciting, slow, and challenging. So let's see. because it's sloppy.
So, what happened exactly here was that I doubted if it was even possible for me to get up from the valley after the unexpected snowstorm that has happened all night. Even though how many times you check the weather forecast or how much you have planned a trip, an unexpected snowstorm can change anything. And it surely did. This way up from the valley was so steep, so no matter how I chose to ride, it simply wasn't possible. I was stuck. I consider myself having some pretty strong mental tools in my toolbox, but right here, I freaked out a little bit. Because of my riding abilities and my confidence, I haven't been afraid of falling, crashing, or dropping the bike, but suddenly a whole new chapter appeared in front of me. What if I get stuck out here in the middle of nowhere? A thing I did not calculate it into my planning of this trip, because when I took off from home, the weather should have been with me the whole week. But here I was, riding a motorcycle after a snowstorm inside of a valley with no chance of getting out. That was a tough 2 hours I went through right here.
So we are having a little bit change of plans. The road up to the main road is too steep. It's just too steep. I can't get out there. So back down the hill again, and then a very, very kind Norwegian guy told me that I should go to a town called Leda, because the hills aren't that steep up to the town, which is on the main road. So I should be able to get up there this way.
I'm sorry for the weird looking hair. I'm only 8 kilometers from the cabin I was sleeping in, and it has taken me 1.5 hours. That is making me think if I should reroute my trip a little bit. And I just talked to they have an operations center you can call in Norway if you're stuck in the mountains and stuff like that. And she was telling me, yeah, the main roads are much more clear than you are on now. I call them when I was a little bit stuck, probably most mentally here on this path I was just on. And she said, you really have to consider if you are if you should still go through the mountain, because it has been snowing a lot. And I think if a person living in Norwegian from an operations center tells me that, I should respect it. Even though I really want to go and I believe I can do it, I should respect it. I'm not afraid of falling or tipping over the bike or something like that, but I'm afraid of getting stuck because it's cold and help is not around the corner if I'm really far up in the mountains. Restaurationsdrykk. Cacao. It's chocolate milk. I think I'm going to reroute. I have to some sort of going south, away back to Oslo in some way where I can
still get these amazing scenarios as I'm having right now, because it is so beautiful up here. But I don't want to get stuck, and this is probably the most insane conditions I have ever ridden in my whole life. So now I'm gonna eat my yogurt, my skyr, and then I'm going to plan a new route, and then I'm gonna call my dad. I need some mentally help on this one. So, am I a little bit disappointed? Of course, but I really, really shouldn't be, because I wanted to take a winter motorcycle trip. I did. I wanted to ride in beautiful scenarios. I did. And I wanted to ride in snow. And I definitely, surely did. Would I have wanted it to last for many more days? Of course. But you gotta listen to the pros. The conditions were extremely, extremely bad. And I am now out of the snowstorm, and the roads are in some sort of normal again. So, but that doesn't mean that there isn't any more beautiful scenery, because I'm still in the mountains. I'm just not as high as I was before, and this place looks amazing. Should we count down to some drone footage? 3, 2, 1. And remember what they say, if anything goes sideways, just go to McDonald's. So I am now a little bit south from Oslo, and I have decided to drive home, because it doesn't make sense to drive elsewhere in just normal rain weather. So I wanted to see mountains. I did. I wanted to ride in snow, all the things I told you. So it has been a great trip. Not as long as I hoped it would be, but you know what? I got beaten by nature, and that's just how it is. And it's okay. I've seen everything I wanted. I had a great time, and I had you along with me all the time. See you in the next one, guys. I have 600 kilometers until I'm home, and that's just highway, so that's not interesting. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.